that's it. We just want to win for our team.
My goodness!
Yeah, we're just as good as the men. We're better.
It's a huge point for the Bay Area.
Good chance that's the #1 highlight of the week.
I'm looking around right now because I am in the most densely populated state in North America, the birthplace of Frank Sinatra, John Bon Jovi, and the home of the Princeton Revolution. I'm Ryan Willard, and this is Major League Table Tennis. Welcome to Week 12. This is day number 1, and you are about to witness one of the craziest matchups of the Eastern Division. We have the Florida Crocs going up against the Princeton Revolution. The fate of both teams lies in this match. Only one will go to the championships next month in Chicago. Now, I'm in a place that y'all might know. Some people call it new, but I just call it Jersey, baby. Can I get some love from New Jersey? So we're gonna start this off, and we're gonna bring on our umpires. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your umpire, Walter Lamb, who will be assisted by Jovana Najevic. Ladies and gentlemen, the challengers coming in to the New Jersey home court today, hailing from Florida, please welcome the Florida Crocs. And that is Daniel Gorak, Mark Duran, Benjamin Brossier, Ojo Analapo, Matilda Ekholm, and Daniel Gonzalez. Now I want you, if you're in the stands, I want you to stomp your feet right now. I want you to show us, let us hear who this home team is. Make some noise. Ladies and gentlemen, your very own Princeton Revolution! And that is Jishan Liang, Jinxing Wang, Yevgen Prishepa, Koyo Kanamiyu, Angela Guan, and Mathieu De Saintilan. I just got to hear from the crowd. Are you guys ready for this Major League Table Tennis match right now? That's right. All right, teams, let's shake hands and let's get down with the get down.
Alrighty, that sets the stage for arguably the most important head-to-head team matchup of the entire Major League Table Tennis season. Why is it so critical? Well, Florida and Princeton enter this final weekend of the regular season, 2nd and 3rd respectively. In the East Division, only the top 2 will make the playoffs. Just 3 points separate the Revolution and the Crocs. Princeton with 213, Florida with 210. Carolina has clinched a playoff berth, and now it's the final time that Princeton and Florida will collide, each trying to set the tone for what they hope will be a playoff clinching weekend. Welcome again to our perch, everybody. This is Major League Table Tennis. Matt Hetherington and Evan Lepler are with you. And Matt, every single time that Princeton and Florida have squared off this year, dating back to 6 months ago in September, the score going into the Golden Game has been 8-7. They played a lot of really tight matches, but none is more important than what we've got this evening.
I mean, this is it. To have it in their home court, this could be a privilege or a downfall. There's plenty of voodoo of previous home matches. We don't know how that's going to play into things, but I mean, they've done so well to gain momentum coming into this weekend. the Florida Crocs, they still have as big a chance as any to get that second spot. Either team could come out in the second playoff position here. Of course, it's not only about tonight, this obviously being an important face-off, but there's still 2 more matches also this weekend. So there's a lot on the line here, but 2 more matches to come. Nobody knows what's going to happen.
Obviously, Princeton has had the momentum during the second half of the season. After such a slow start, the Revolution have come on strong. Much of that has been at Florida's expense. The Revolution have won the last 4 battles against Florida since the Crocs won in September. It is a little crazy, Matt, as we look at the lineup, that Daniel Gorak and Jishan Liang is a matchup that we have not seen all year long in a singles match. I think we've seen it in a couple of Golden Games, but in terms of a 3-game, 2-11 singles showdown, this will be the first time we're seeing Gorak against Liang. And we heard Damian Provost talk about it when we asked him his thoughts at the end of the Chicago-Carolina match. He said, this is going to set the tone, and I agree with him wholeheartedly. What about you?
I mean, it's obviously a really big match for both teams. They're both fighting for a playoff. To start the weekend facing off against each other, it's going to put a lot of pressure on them to start the weekend, but maybe it'll alleviate some pressure off one of the teams, potentially, when they come to a result. But yeah, I mean, momentum shifts have been different. Princeton Revolution have been on the way up. Florida struggling a little bit. We'll see how things go tonight.
Quick reminder of the rules: the 4 singles matches, sandwiching the 1 doubles match, all of which are 3 games to 11, each game worth 1 point. The Golden Game counts for 6. So unless a team gets to 11 in the course of the first 15 games through regulation, it will come down to the Golden Game. And the Golden Game is just a spectacle unlike the world of table tennis has ever seen. It had become pretty predictable this year, since the calendar flipped to January. But Chicago,
15 minutes ago.
Yeah, Chicago has been the outlier. They have 2 come from behind wins this year in Golden Games. Members of the Chicago Wind have found a place in the stands alongside all the other fans, and the anticipation has built considerably to this moment. Gorak versus Liang. Daniel Gorak serves to get us started. First time we're seeing this matchup in a match. What are the bullet points you'd like to hit on both players?
Obviously, Jishan, big forehand game. Everybody's aware of this. The amount of power he can get on his forehand is a real danger to any player in the league. As he said in the last matchup, he's one of the only players that's beaten Enzo as well. Gorak's quick. Gorak's a really quick player. He doesn't have the biggest shots, but he generates so much speed, both backhand and forehand, a lot of wrist in the backhand. So I think Gorak, if he can play his A game, will have a slight advantage here, because that quickness helps you keep somebody off their forehand. It's something that can really factor in here. I think Daniel Gorak has had big up and down swings across MLTT. He started out the season really well. I think he has a lot to prove, and if there's ever going to be a weekend to do it, it's this one.
He's off to a scintillating start, catching the edge there. He's won 5 of the first 6 points. Arguably Jishan's best weekend of the season came last month in Winter Haven when he upset Enzo, went 7-2 in singles for the weekend. But Gorak is looking like September Gorak right now. Daniel went 7-2 in the opening MLTT weekend in September. He went 10-2 in the interdivisional weekend. And obviously he's half of the strong doubles pairing. Seeing Gorak and Ekholm become a force in doubles. So you're down 8-1, you're Ji-Shan Liang. You don't necessarily want to take a timeout in game one. What are you trying to figure out? You're not trying to necessarily come back and win this game. Certainly you can, but you're trying to figure out something for games 2 and 3 here in these next few points.
Yeah, but also the momentum's important. You know, Eric Owen said it in his post-match interview. Damian's talked about it as well, momentum. And you can lose a game 11-2, or you can lose a game, you know, 11-5, 11-6. Any point that you can claw back to help build yourself up for the next game can make all the difference. So, you know, if Ji-Shan can win 5 or 6 points here, even if Gorak wins the game, it'd do him the world of good going into game 2.
3 straight for Ji-Shan after falling behind 8-1. We will see Liang and Gorak both playing doubles today. Gorak with Matilda Ekholm and Liang with the chopper, Angela Guan. A little bit of pressure building now on Gorak. He went with a deep serve. Liang handled it. 4 in a row for the Princeton player. What's going through Gorak's mind right now, Matt?
There's the big forehand. It's probably the worst thing for a player to see at this stage of an opening game.
Totally handcuffed him with the blistering pace of that forehand. We've seen him do that a bunch this year.
You have to be so careful playing to the center of Ji-Shan's forehand.
Goodness. 6 straight points for Ji-Shan Liang.
Timeout, Crocs.
Gorak's taking a timeout. This game felt like it was over at 8-1. And all of a sudden it's a 1-point game. And Gorak's on the ropes a little bit here early.
Yeah,
I was almost wondering if...
with the he's serving.
You go banana like you made.
Yeah. And
with the serve,
but he's now waiting for the, if you step around, he's waiting for the banana there. So probably if you can go down the line, and your 2 serves, I think
we can come back to the reverse, acting, no?
your 2 serves to the forehand. He's just gonna push and ready to attack either side, whatever you want to do, but either side you attack.
And come on. What you said, when you spin the first one to the backhand, and after that is
Keep going. It's good.
Come on, Daddy.
okay, come on.
Interesting, very early timeout. Of course, both teams through the first 4 singles and 1 doubles. They only have 2 timeouts, so...
You were about to make a point before you...
Yeah, I did notice Gorak said something about the net. I don't know whether he was indicating that he thought Ji-Shan maybe touched the net with his racket after he hit the ball, or... Not entirely sure.
Wow. The Revolution momentum continues. 7 straight for Ji-Shan Liang. 8-all. Opening game. And Liang is locked in. He's won 8 points in a row after losing 8 of the first 9, to the delight of the Princeton owners. Roger and Andre watching from their tableside seats, and a service error from Daniel Gorak. My goodness. Can you believe this? Liang 1 point away from stealing this opening game. That'll do it. 11-8 for Ji-Shan. He closes on a 10-0 run. And that is one heck of a way to start this pivotal weekend for the Princeton Revolution. If I didn't see it, I would not believe it. Spicy start to this big time,
Just a
meaningful matchup.
Ghost pepper spicy.
Princeton now a 4-point lead in the overall standings. Jishan serving to start game 2. And Gorak snaps the 10-0 run by winning this opening point on Jishan's serve. I mean, Matt, what are your big takeaways from what we just watched?
It's kind of hard to unravel. I mean, Gorak started so well in the first 5 or 6 points, but all it takes is you take a little bit of pressure off, and like I said, it's about momentum. And Jishan clearly was just focusing 1 point at a time, just trying to add 1 more point to his tally to try and get some momentum. And he just took it and run with it. And I think Gorak, towards the timeout and after the timeout, went from being really pumped up at the start to being a little bit frustrated. And that mentality shifted everything in that first game.
We have seen Daniel wear that frustration on his sleeve, literally, at times, particularly in the second half of the season. And this start reminiscent of game number 1. Gorak is dictating the pace and tempo of the point.
You can see Gorak making an effort to get the ball out wider to the forehand. Jishan's a player who likes to step around a lot, so again, that style that we talked about earlier with Pinto as well, the serve and step around to find the forehand.
Strong response from Gorak here in game 2. Now, obviously, the job is far from done.
Yeah, I mean, I think he knew exactly what he was trying to do, and it was working for him. But, you know, the wheels just fell off, and to get to that pressure point at the end of the first game and to miss your own serve, that kind of shows how much pressure both of these teams are under right now. And going out first, you know, having that responsibility to set the mood for your team.
Swing and a miss from Liang, pointing to the lights.
Again, you can see Gorak trying to get the ball out to the forehand side more. Gorak just
trying to keep himself fired up.
Just kind of seemed like he was saying, you know, this is simple stuff. You just got to keep executing.
Nine.
9-3 lead here for Gorak. You have to feel he should be able to close this one out.
Felt that in game 1 though too.
Yeah.
And that's what Jishan's capable of.
4-9.
Talk so much about the forehand, but the reflexes on that backhand down the line, not too shabby either. 10-4. We saw Jishan win 10 straight points in game 1. He's going to need to win the next 7 to steal game 2.
Brilliant play there from Gorak. Keeping the ball short to the forehand. Typically after that, a lot of left-handers will expect the ball to come deep to their backhand. You can see Liang shift. Gorak sends it out even wider to the forehand. Smart play from Gorak.
1 game apiece.
always have you guys behind them. So I want to remind you to make some noise for game number 3 right now.
Daniel Gorak and Jishan Liang heading to a rubber game in this opening singles match.
Third
Princeton
game,
and Florida are
Crocs
both 11 and 8
0,
on the season overall. Princeton entered the night with a 3-point advantage, and it's not the overall one-loss record, it's the overall point total that matters most. And Gorak has gotten off to great starts in all 3 games. Maybe a tad premature to say he's off to a great start in game 3.
1-1.
It's funny though, it feels like he's dominated the match, and yet we're even. Jishan's right there.
Yeah, I think Gorak really needs to win this third game. I think knowing that he had such a big chance to get the first, and knowing how important the value of 1 point here is right now, he definitely needs something to help redeem himself. Jishan hustles for that ball. Again, Gorak just playing with really great speed on the ball.
Thought it was interesting when we asked Damian Provost for his thoughts about this Princeton-Florida match. One of the things he talked about was Gorak's leadership. And that goes for both his time on the table and his time off the table, and sort of kind of setting the tone.
It's a tough position to be in. I kind of alluded to that pressure in a couple of the recent rounds where Florida hadn't been doing as well. And if you compare Gorak and Enzo, who are both first-round draft picks, the first and second picks in the league for the East Division, you can see how Enzo has kind of risen to the mantle, and maybe the pressure of the mantle has affected Gorak in a different way, and the results have been pretty clear, I think.
4-4.
Tied at 4 points each here.
They'll change sides at 5-4. Gorak with the slim lead. Gorak on the season has a singles record of 33-24. That was entering this match. Jishan Liang 21-15.
5-4.
Both players have won more games than they've lost. Ojo and Yevgen up next. Which side will have the 2-1 lead?
4-6.
Gorak. I mean, there are a lot of players in this league, Matt, that after giving up a 10-0 run to lose a game that you led by 7 would not take the table for that next game as mentally ready.
Right, yeah.
As Daniel Gorak certainly did.
5-6.
Jishan just going tooth and nail in these rallies.
That, as much as anything, speaks to Gorak's leadership and ability to comport himself even in the face of adversity.
Gorak tries to keep the ball short, tight to the net.
6.
Roger Kang and Andre in their corner spot. You know, I actually spoke to Andre before just briefly and asked if he was nervous. And he said, you know what? He said, I'm not feeling that nervous. He said, I feel like the team has gotten to a good point and we've done everything we can, so. I said that will probably change once the match starts.
And it is interesting as we're tied 7-all here in this rubber game of this opening singles match. Regardless of what happens tonight, this is likely coming down to Sunday. And Sunday morning at 11 a.m., Florida will play Carolina. Then Princeton has Chicago. The Revolution will know going into their last match how many points they need to beat Chicago by. As Leong surges into the lead.
7.
Florida will likely become huge Chicago Wind fans on Sunday afternoon here as we're even again, 8-all.
What a turnaround in that point from Gorak. Quick defense. Turned it into an attacking opportunity.
So many points, so many games, so many practices. All leading on to these critical points in this final weekend. 9-8 for Jishan.
That was phenomenal play from Jishan. He knew Gorak has been trying to play quick out to the forehand corner as much as he can. Great anticipation.
Nine all.
9-9.
Gorak, he knew how that point was going to play out.
9-10.
A huge roar from Gorak on one side, a frustrated foot stomp from Jishan Leong on the other. Leong serving, trailing by 1 at 10-9. And we are even, and it will come down to just this one next point.
I wonder how Andre's feeling now.
Ten. Let's.
Gorak switching to the backhand serve. It's an interesting choice.
He's got another chance to think about it.
I think he's thought about it enough. I don't think we're going to see it again.
Golden point. Oh my goodness, can you believe that? Leong apologizes and then celebrates a dramatic victory in this opening singles match. Leong takes down Gorak 11-10 in game 3.
Such a well thought out point to finish it. Jishan just blocking the ball across the table into the backhand corner and opened up the angle for the forehand. Huge start for the Revolution to come back and win that first game from 8-1 behind.
Jishan Leong has put the headset on. Congratulations, Jishan. What a riveting match. Let's just start at the beginning. You're down 8-1. What are you telling yourself at that point? How'd you come back in game number 1?
Yeah, especially like any happen, like recently. Like I watching and also I play a lot of matches. So even the first match, Pinto play against one player, so down 10-4. So I just try to focus on every point because I know even I lose, I don't think lose or win. I just try to fight every point. I try to find my feeling. Yeah.
And I mean, the way that you are constructing points, are there particular weaknesses that you're looking? I know Gorak, he plays quite quick, and obviously when you need a little bit more time to play bigger forehands, you need more, you need more time. How do you work that against him to slow him down a little bit or to give yourself a chance to play?
Yeah, in beginning I saw his backhand really well. I tried to push more middle, and then he stepped around really quick, and then my backhand blocked soft, and then he tried to immediately get my forehand.
Yeah.
So, but when I get a chance to coming back, maybe 1 or 2 point, and then I try to push to backhand, ready to forehand.
Jishan, watch the golden point on the monitor and talk us through it. What was going through your mind?
Yeah, because I didn't think so much, but I try to fight because this is the home court, and then of course every point, and it's really important for us. Also, this is the the last time we try to fight for the second spot.
Congratulations, you and Daniel will go head to head again in doubles, and who knows, maybe in the golden game as well. But you got 2 out of 3. Well done, and we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks, Jishan.
Thank you.
Well, Matt, that was a heck of a way to start this evening's activity.
Yeah. I think that as things have warmed up here on this Friday, the matches have just gotten closer and closer. Ocho Onalaupo, the left-hander from Nigeria, big power player. He's going to take on Yevgen Preshepa.
This is the first time that they're meeting in a singles match as well.
I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing when there's so much pressure on a match to have new combinations out there.
And one thing, Ojo, for whatever reason, has not played that often against Princeton. It's been the one match he sat out more often than not.
I think he actually sat out 2 last round. He sat 1 match out and he was injured in the second. So he only played 1 match in Winter Haven. Now, one of the things that Ojo plays really well against is any half-long ball. So any ball that's dropping just over the end of the table after 1 bounce. Plays with a lot of power.
2-1.
Very aggressive against half-long.
2-0. Revolution serve.
Preshepa, he's played a lot of great matches in MLTT. His Broward weekend was really, really solid in Orlando. Oh, no, not in Orlando, in
Hollywood.
Miami, yeah, Hollywood, Florida. When he gets going, I mean, at the mid-distance back from the table, very heavy spin,
he's
very solid.
He's been pretty consistent. He's finished with a 500 or better singles record in 5 of his 6 weekends. Interestingly, his greatest struggles came in the interdivisional weekend. Rock Hill.
Which is strange because the East Division teams did so well.
Yeah. East Division teams won 223 points. West Division teams won 113. So the East outscored the West by 110 points over the 16 team matches that were played over the course of those 3 busy days in Rock Hill. This is an impressive opening game for Preshepa. He was down early, but 7 of the last 8 points for the Ukrainian.
I think one of the things for Preshepa is he's able to hold his own so well in a rally. Ojo doesn't want to rally with people. His first ball has so much power, and you've got to feel the longer the rally goes on, the greater the chance of Przeppa winning the point.
8-4.
There is something to be said for the thought that, you know, when things are going well for Ojo, they're usually going well for Florida. He's a energy guy for this team. You know, the very first ultimate golden point was won by Ojo over Sasha Hanin in a Florida-Chicago match back in October.
He played really well in Chicago as well.
Sure did.
That was the cut sleeves, maybe. That was the...
Yeah, that's right.
Could have been the...
Couple game points saved for Ojo. Still a long way to go.
Revolution.
Seen some crazy runs so far today. With the Carolina-Chicago match, and already here in Florida, Princeton too. But Yevgen Przeppa able to close out game one. And that's 3 of the first 4 points for the Revolution. An 11-6 win in the opening game of the second singles match for the 38-year-old Ukrainian Yevgen Przeppa. Flint Lane amongst the fans here at the Alumni Gymnasium on the campus of Rider University. We're in Lawrenceville, New Jersey. The Revolution certainly have the partisan crowd in their favor.
Second game, Crocs to serve.
Obviously, we're going to be updating these standings after every single game over the course of the weekend.
0-0.
Princeton had a 3-point lead at the start of the weekend. Now it's a 5-point lead as they have won 3 of the last 4. What stood out most to you about how Przeppa handled his business in game 1, Matt?
I think he's just really steady. That's a start. He's so steady, and you look at players who are consistent, and you know Jeremy Hazin comes to mind, and Damian Provost. But a lot of the time they're playing soft. Przeppa is consistent, but he doesn't play soft. He's always adding rotation to the ball. There's always some pressure behind it. He's never really blocking soft. And I think, as I said, when you get into long rallies with him, he's just so reliable at closing out those long rallies. Now, Ojo, again, so much power in the beginning. But Przeppa, he's kind of returning a lot of those shots with interest. Perfect example there. And, you know, also the way that Ojo plays, there's so much body in the ball. So there's a lot of weight transfer. And usually he kind of throws that body weight into the ball. Takes him a little while to recover. So, you know, he doesn't want that ball coming back a lot of the time.
3-3.
Time Ojo on the offensive with the counter.
4, 5.
Prushepa just looking solid out there. Ojo a little bit more up and down in terms of points won and points lost.
Good fight there from Prushepa.
6, 4.
Prushepa is playing a lot in different leagues like TT Star Series in the Czech Republic. So he's getting high-level matches on a weekly basis of players that can hit the ball really hard. So he
5,
seems
7.
relatively comfortable with the pace he's getting from Ojo out there.
Ojo's not too far from his current home. He lives in Newark, New Jersey now, originally from Nigeria. So you figure the home crowd will give him a little support, maybe.
Well, we're about probably a little less than 15 minutes from Princeton Pong, which is MLTT Commissioner Flint Lane's one of his 2 table tennis clubs. So if anything, you can
6, 8.
hedge your bets that a lot of the Princeton club's membership are in here.
Two-point lead and a couple serves here for Prushepa.
Great third ball pickup there
9,
from
6.
the Ukrainian.
Prushepa now just 1 point
6,
away from
10.
making it 2 games to love here in this second singles match. And the service
11,
error
6,
closes it
7
out,
game.
so it's now 4-1 for Princeton. And look, you can talk about the golden point that Gorak and Leong played in game 3, how big of a turning point that might have been. Gorak and Leong are coming back to the table to play doubles here in just a little bit. But the pressure is building for Florida's Crocs. Brossier and Durand still to play as well, but Ono Lapo down 2 games to none.
Yeah, I think the Revolution right now are wearing the pressure a little bit better than the Crocs. I mean, again, in an important situation, Crocs player missing their own serve. It goes to show maybe some nerves in play here. There's a lot on the line in this match. You know, it's like Provost said, he would hate to be in the shoes of these players. You know, he feels nervous out there playing the Golden Game when Chicago, they have really no skin in the game anymore, at least for making a playoff position. Right now the Revolution have doubled their lead over the Florida Crocs to 6 points on the standings.
Yevgen serves to start game 3.
I think one of the interesting things earlier this morning, before I came into the venue, was talking to Jung Kai about these 2 teams, and he felt that with their current full team lineup, the Princeton Revolution were more of a threat to the Carolinas in a match than Florida. So that could also factor in a lot as well.
1, 2.
Well, we've talked about that, right? We've talked about Princeton's depth, particularly in the CD spots, with Prushepa and Kanemitsu.
3, 1.
Obviously De Saintilan as well, who's not active today, but we'll see the Frenchman Mathieu De Saintilan presumably tomorrow and Sunday. Yevgen's just cooking right now.
4,
Doing a great job of mixing up the serve game. Some half long, some short, some long fast. There's the long fast again.
2-4.
A couple of occasions where the ball's kind of been floated on serve return for him that he's hit over the end. But generally making pretty good adjustments.
3-4.
My goodness.
Five.
A service error from Hanalaupo.
That can't happen.
Ojo.
Doubles on deck. Princeton has tried a lot of different individuals playing with Angela Guan. And look, we've seen Yevgen play with Guan a lot when he's been active, but Matthias Habasson, coach of Princeton, going with Jishan and Angela tonight. What a point. 3 different net balls on that
net
point.
balls.
Five, 4.
There's the half-long pendulum cross court.
Crocs.
It's a really hard serve to return righty against lefty.
Five, 6.
Ojo closes to within 1.
Seven, 5. Revolution.
The Chicago-Carolina match earlier tonight, 4 of the 5 matches, in fact, in all 4 singles matches,
Let.
I shouldn't say that, 4 of the 5 matches total. Same team won the first 2 games, but 3 out of 4 times, the person that fell behind 0-2 salvaged a point in game 3. Seen that more often in the East than we have in the West. We talked about it earlier.
7, 6.
Statistically for the season, over the course of the 76 team matches that we saw coming into this weekend, you win the first 2 games, you got about 62% chance of winning game 3. More often than not, the sweep is finished off.
Ojo
won't
staying
go
alive.
7, 7.
Mark Duran liked that one. You could see Prashepa trying to hook the ball wider and wider to Ojo's backhand side.
Seven, 8. Seven, 8.
Oh, the 2 forehand counters from Prashepa were timed so well.
8.
But Ojo just putting everything into the ball. Gonzalez was out of his seat, maybe faster than I've seen anyone so far this season.
8-all here in game 3.
Nine, 8.
Strong initial first return from Ojo. Good short chop. Good catching the tape on the second shot of the point. Prashepa back up 1.
Great serve and attack combo from Prashepa. 10-8.
Crocs.
There's the opportunity for a 3-0 sweep here.
Far from over, obviously. Pretty good start for Princeton, there's no doubt about it. A cautious serve from Onalapo, and Princeton outduels the Nigerian in 3 consecutive games. 11-6, 11-6, and 11-8 to finish it off. A 3-0 sweep for Yevgen Princeton and a 5-1 lead in this mighty important matchup for the hometown Princeton Revolution.
Now we're about to do a doubles match. Doubles are one of my favorite things to watch in table tennis. And we have some amazing teams right now coming.
Yevgen Princeton putting on the headset to join us. Yevgen, congratulations, a 3-0 sweep. Hard to believe it was your first time playing against Ojo in a singles match. What was it like going up against a really explosive player? How did you diminish his ability to put shots away, and what was the key to winning it?
First of all, thanks for your congratulations. And my plan was use my different serves to, I don't know this English word. Okay, just to make him mistakes and use my game to not give him the chance to hit his forehand.
How many different serves did you use?
Actually, because it's big pressure, very important match for us, I was a little bit under the pressure, so I used one, but very successful. I changed the spins and the speed of the serve.
And I know you guys have put in a lot of preparation for this weekend. Most of you arrived on Tuesday, I think, and you've been playing twice a day. How do you feel about the I mean, you guys have got to feel pretty good about your chances this weekend. I mean, for you to take 3 now, that's got to fill you with confidence.
First of all, I want to say thank you to our team, team owners, coach that support us all the season. So we feel very comfortable here. So it helps a lot.
What, if anything, were you working on during your days of training to get ready for this big weekend?
At home, as usual, I'm trying to do a lot of physical work, like to be fast, have good stamina, and yeah.
Yeah, again, congratulations on a 3-0 sweep. We'll let you go, get ready for the golden game,
Thank
and
you.
we'll watch the doubles.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yevgen.
Oh, if there was ever a time to land a 3-0 sweep, Yevgen Princeton's got to be pretty happy that it was now.
1-1.
So, first 2 doubles points split. Liang and Guan against Gorak and Ekholm. We have seen this exact doubles pairing 4 times previously this year. All 4 times, Florida took 2 out of 3. There has not been a sweep. Jishan's forehand is still the most explosive shot from these 4 players. There has to be just a ton of pressure weighing on the shoulders of Ekholm and Gorak now, but it's all Princeton, and specifically it's all Jishan.
You know, I'd be very interested, given that the Princeton team specifically spent time at Princeton Pong building up to this weekend, whether they spent time focusing on doubles, knowing how important it would be coming into this weekend. Because, you know, when you're traveling a lot, you don't really get time to do deliberate and specific training for your doubles combination. Yes, there's a lot of warming up before matches, there's some practice sessions between matches, but when you have a 3 or 4 day preparation, you have time to really focus on things. So it'd be interesting to see if Matthias Harbison actually spent some time working on the doubles.
4-3.
Ekholm and Gorak have just been such a solid doubles combination, and the kind of emotional roller coaster that you go through in a match with both of them. It's always very expressive doubles pairing.
Am I crazy? Has Matilda Ekholm played with glasses before in MLTT? I might be crazy, but I don't think she has.
I don't think she's actually played the match with glasses before. No, not in MLTT.
Revolution.
Gorak not quite making that half-lung opening. You have to wonder in this pressure situation how the corresponding moods of Jishan and Gorak after the first singles.
No doubt about it, man. I mean, I'm just thinking about you can't avoid the big alligator in the room right now. You know, look at who Princeton has next. Koyo and Jinshin Wang. They both have been playing really well lately against Brassier and Duran, who have had their ups and downs. They both had their moments, but I think you favor Princeton to at least get 2 points in each of those matches on paper. Now, you don't play it on paper. But if Gorak and Ekholm can't take 2 out of 3 here, this could get ugly. I mean, this
totally
could become a really insurmountable lead. Princeton began the day with a 3-point lead in the standings. It's now obviously up to 7.
I mean,
Florida can win the Golden game.
Right. Yeah, but I mean,
would reframe the conversation considerably.
in terms of which game to focus on, even if they only win 1 out of the 3 games, get the first one. Your chances of having a big impact on the second and third go up so much if they can get the first game, then, you know, as opposed to getting the middle game or the last, obviously.
Whoa. Jishan wants that swing back, and Princeton's taking a timeout. Florida has clawed their way back here into this opening game. It's 8-7.
So he can get this slow one and then counter. When he's pushing back, stay a little closer.
I know, this time they don't.
Little closer. But no problem. We are leading. Everything is fine. He's playing very well. Yeah. You just a little bit lower and a little bit closer. Okay.
I just got to point out a couple things.
Okay, when they make like bomber, that you can. Okay, but when they twist push,
this one
it's much
especially
better than
doubles. The Florida Crocs, 36-21. They are the second best doubles record in the league right now. Just behind the Gold Rush, but they are incredibly dangerous with their doubles.
So he doesn't get a bomb, and you bomb.
Now the Revolution holding strong right now with a 1-point lead, but they're going to need your help to get through this 3-game match right now. So please welcome back the Florida Crocs and your very own Princeton Revolution.
Bravo. Come on, leading, 8-7, everything fine. Yeah, come on.
8-7, everything's fine. We shall see if that is indeed the case, these next few points.
Something wait. Angela, something's on table. Online. Online? Yes.
Little schmutz on the table, technical
8-7.
term. Eight all.
Big chance there for Jishan to counter that, but opted to backhand block instead for position.
Ekholm serves.
8-9.
Gorak wants that backhand flick back. These are such big points right here, Matt. Wow. Jishan could not put a whole lot on that forehand, but he angled it well, forcing Gorak to fire off balance.
Not a whole lot of pace, but certainly a whole lot of spin.
10-8.
3-game points.
That was an underrated, really nice shot from Jishan. Not his typical forehand either. Showing a different pitch. Ekholm keeps Florida in it. Matilda's best swing of the match.
Ekholm in mixed doubles has such a great ability to play topspin and make it difficult for the male players to counter.
Remember early in the season, it felt like no matter what the score was, Gorak and Ekholm were down, they'd figure out a way to come back and win it. But they can't do it here. Gorak sends it way long, and Guan and Liang take game 1. Now a 6-1 lead for the Revolution. We certainly saw many twists and turns in that opening game. Now the order switches. We'll see if Florida can take advantage of this. There's still 2 more matches this weekend, tomorrow and Sunday, and there's still 2 more singles matches today, but Florida has not gotten off to the start it has wanted to, despite Gorak leading 8-1 in the opening game of the first singles match earlier this evening, and an edge from Guan.
1-1. Crocs.
Certainly worth noting that Chicago trailed by 7 points to 2 at one stage during their match with Carolina. Came back to win in the Golden Game. But for the Florida Crocs, it has to start now. If they lose this doubles match, I feel it's a bad omen in itself, regardless of the next 2 matches as well.
Gorak and Ekholm need to dig deep.
Jishan moving across in front of Angelo. This is actually a big goal when you're playing against the left and right-handed combination, is to try and get the players to cross over, move in front of each other. This is harder for, this doubles order is harder for the Princeton Revolution because Daniel will drop the ball short a lot. So you can see they'll move them into the table and then they'll push them out from the table. You can see how they bunch up together in the corners. Second missed serve of the night for Gorak.
Yeah, we saw Ojo miss a couple as well. Stunning.
I mean, the thing that stands out here is when Guan plays out long, Jishan is not able to counter Gorak's first attack. He hasn't been able to control the spin blocking, but he's just a little bit too far back. And it's kind of the thing that I've talked about the most with their doubles combination, is Jishan drifts too far back from the table. Angela moves back to play defensively. Jishan follows her out, and he's just too far away. This is what he needs to do. He needs to stay in. He needs to keep his body weight forward. If a ball pops up, don't wait for it and take a big swing. Get in there and go for it. But so far, tactically, Ekholm and Gorak have played this second game pretty well.
6-2. 5.
Aside from obviously staying close to the table, what's the key determining factor in whether you're going to attack a short ball or just return a short ball?
There are a lot of factors. I mean, knowing whether you have a place on the table to attack, whether you can apply enough pressure to actually make it an effective attack or not, especially when you have players out there that are just looking for a chance to counter. Jishan in particular, you don't want to flick a ball that's 60% pace and give him the chance to put it away. So yeah, there has to be an opportunity for flicking to create an advantage for you.
6-all, game 2. Order may not be as advantageous for the Revolution, but they're still right there. And now they've got a lead. Princeton team that started the season 1-6. 10-2 in their last 12 matches, and seemingly on their way again today to a 6-1 lead through the first 7 games. 7-all here in game number 8.
Ekholm, she let the ball drop a little bit later. I mean, if Princeton can get this second game, I think symbolically, given how well Ekholm and Gorak have performed in doubles against them, that would be a pretty big deal. No spin serve there from Gorak.
As I said earlier, every single time it's been Gorak and Ekholm against Liang and Guan. 4 previous matches, Florida has won 2 out of 3 games. So that is still very much a possibility here. 9-8 lead for the Crocs. Cut off guard a little bit by Angela being a little aggressive on the return. Game point for Florida.
8. Crocs.
Kind of subdued body language right now from Angela and Jishan. They're certainly not out of this. Ekholm with a pair of serves. Gorak looking to attack. Sends it long.
10-9.
This next third ball attack might be the biggest shot of Daniel Gorak's MLTT career. Can he put the pressure on Princeton? Another error creates another golden point. Angela Guan will serve.
10-10. Revolution.
Princeton comes from behind to take game 2 of the doubles, 11-10. They lead 7-1 overall. Another heartbreaking loss for the Florida Crocs. Up 10-8. Gorak with plenty of opportunity. Disappointing for the Crocs, but Princeton enjoying the moment here in Jersey.
But to win these 2 games against Gorak and Ekholm, those are 2 of the best doubles players in the league.
It's the first time all season long that Princeton has won a doubles match against Florida. Now we see if Liang and Guang can complete the sweep, guarantee themselves a lead going into the Golden Game regardless of what happens coming up. 11-9, 11-10 are about as close as you can get, Matt, but it's hard not to see and feel the contrasting emotions and the body language with everybody right now. On the table and in the bench areas. And again, this point counts just as much as last one. Ekholm just flipped her paddle. And
yellow card.
the yellow card has been the price assessed for that minor outburst.
2-0, Revolution.
Ivana Kejnovic giving Ekholm the yellow. It's just a warning. If it happens again, though, it's a point penalty, right?
Yes, it would be a yellow and red card together.
If there was ever a time to get a yellow to try to change the momentum, this would probably be it. I don't know if Matilda got her money's worth. Not that I'm suggesting it would be good for her to deliver a huge outburst, but Florida's got to do something, change the momentum.
Ekholm getting in. Again, that opening loop from Ekholm is tough to time for a big counter. It dips down, she keeps it pretty low.
Four-two, Revolution.
Service error from Guang. No joke, we have seen more service errors so far today than we have seen in some entire weekends throughout the season.
Genuinely feel like I've seen more service errors in Major League Table Tennis than in regular table tennis matches. I think it's the pressure and the shorter format. Just knowing how I think Rebete was the one who answered it probably the best. He said, you put the same amount of pressure on your serve as you do on other parts of your game. If you want to up the ante with your serve, then there's risk involved. And he said the serve is really important when you're playing just 3 games, or you're playing golden points. So that certainly shone some light on a kind of mysterious difference between MLTT and.
A couple of good heads of hair in the on-deck circle. Brossier for Florida, Koyo from Princeton.
Don't know whether to feel targeted by that comment, Evan.
It was not the intent. I have no idea what your head of hair looks like. You're always wearing the hat.
There's nothing under there.
Could have fooled me. Oh!
Maybe I'll borrow the Gold Rush Gandalf getup.
That would be phenomenal. Good backhand smash from Ekholm. We're even 6-all here in game 3.
Ekholm's got to step up the offensive. I mean, she's got to have confidence in her shots, even if it is the slow, spinny opening.
How about the attack from Guang?
6-7.
She spent all season long lulling her East Division opponents into a false sense of she's not going to attack. Of course, we see it on occasion. And it's usually effective because it does catch the opposition off guard.
7,
Like a
7.
netball would. In the era of Sierra Mist and Starry, you don't see a whole lot of 7-up anymore. That's what we got right here.
7, 8.
Florida in front by 1.
Revolution.
That's a risky play from Liang. You don't see many long, fast serves in doubles. That pays off for him.
Ekholm has some great serves this season. Should dial up a couple here. Wasn't a bad serve, Matt. But Gorak, again, almost like he feels an obligation to be aggressive on that third ball. That's the shot that cost him game 2. Oh, goodness. Charging over the table, Jishan Liang leaves no doubt and sets up game point for Princeton. Revolution 1 point away from a sweep in doubles and an 8-1 lead on the scoreboard for the night.
10, 9.
Not done yet. Seen both teams be a whole
10, 9. Revolution
lot
serves.
more deliberate strategizing in between points. 10-9. 10-10.
10,
You can see, and it's just a number of times that I've noticed the footwork patterns between Guan and Jishan. When they cross over each other, Gorak, perfect opportunity to play out wide to Jishan's forehand. Golden point.
Gorak serving for Florida at 10-all.
Crocs serves.
My goodness. Jishan Liang and Angela Guan complete the sweep in style. (11-9, 11-10, and 11-10). 3 thrilling games, all belong to Princeton.
I don't even remember if we ever saw Princeton 3-0 sweep in a doubles. Maybe against Chicago, but certainly not against the Crocs or the Carolinas.
We're going to chat with Angela Guan after the 3-0 sweep in doubles. Angela, congratulations. Was that the most exciting doubles match you've played this year?
Yeah, quite thrilling to say the least. All 9s and golden points.
Take us through it. I mean, obviously, we know this is a huge match for you and for Florida. Daniel and Matilda have had your number all year long. What changed today?
Daniel and Matilda are a very strong pair, and pretty much we've lost every single one against them, and this is the last match of season 1. Also our home court, so Jishan, my partner, was really supportive and encouraging me just to fight hard and give it our best, especially on home court. You never know what happens.
Now, Angela, I know you guys have been here practicing a lot. A lot of you have been here since Tuesday, training at Princeton Pong. One of the things that I was wondering, I mean, you guys came out of the blocks looking really good as a doubles pair. Did Matthias spend time with you guys focusing on doubles during those few days of practice?
We worked really much on individual game, but it really complemented the doubles as well, and different skills to make doubles a success.
What will you do between now and when the Golden Game starts, Angela?
stay focused, cheer for my teammates, and keep fighting. Let's go, Revolution.
Well said. We'll leave it there. Congratulations on the 3-0 sweep. We'll see you in the Golden Game. Thanks, Angela.
Enjoy the match.
Unless you're a Florida fan, this has been absolutely riveting and enjoyable. We have seen 3 golden points, all won by Princeton. Princeton, I mean, look, 9 games so far. 6 of the 9 have been decided by 3 points or less, and all 6 of those games have gone to Princeton. 5 of the 6 to Jishan.
Yeah, Jishan is having a night, that's for sure.
Right now, when the day started, the Princeton Revolution
All right.
3 points ahead.
Koyo versus Brossier. Kanamitsu defeated Brossier 2 games to 1 when they met for the first time in MLTT.
I think he won the first 2, right?
No, they split the first 2.
Oh, yeah.
Brossier won the first game, 11-9.
Yeah, that's nice. I remember that.
Kanamitsu won game 2, 11-8. Game 3 was a lopsided 11-3
First game,
final.
Revolution to serve 0-0.
That's when I put a little bit of heat on him in the post-match interview. We'll see what he can do this time.
Let's.
And there have been moments this season when Benjamin Brossier has taken the table in dire straits for Florida and delivered some fantastic performances.
Yeah, and he's actually been up here on the sideline, kind of in the back area, I would say for almost the entirety of the doubles match, doing little footwork drills, doing shadow play, everything to get himself focused and in the zone.
Okay. 2-1.
Good day so far for Jishan Liang fantasy owners, I'll tell you that.
Are you one of them?
I might be.
I haven't checked in on the standings yet. Got to see where Sean's at.
Don't make the same mistake that Sean makes in going all in on your trash talk after 1 match or 2 matches on a weekend. That is the biggest mistake you can make, and Sean has made that mistake on multiple occasions.
In fairness, so have I. I had a brilliant start last time.
I mean, what is your mentality coming into the weekend, considering that in 5 consecutive MLTT weekends, you and Sean have both finished with fewer points than I have? Aren't you guys supposed to be the experts?
My mentality is that it's a season-long fantasy, and I'm ahead of both of you. So the weekly standings only exist until the next match. The season standings are forever. So,
well,
you know,
there is some factual truth to what you are saying.
I can say one thing: I've been the most consistent in terms of submitting a team.
Well, I was not aware the competition existed that first weekend. It did.
Knowledge is power.
And you have remembered to submit your lineup every weekend. But if we're doing an average of points per weekend competing, I have scored 677.3 per weekend competing, and you're at 659.8. But who's counting?
Probably the guy with the report in front of it.
3-7.
To be a play-by-play.
At least at this point, Sean O'Neill probably has an understanding and expectation that he's going to finish below you and I, because that has happened more often than not. But I appreciate his perseverance, sticking with it.
I think he's been conditioned at this stage.
8-4.
He is an Olympian and a U.S. national champion. and a U.S. Table Tennis Hall of Famer. Those are three things that neither you nor I will ever experience.
9-4.
Koyo Kanemitsu off to a great start. He didn't win the first game the last time they played against each other. Could winning the first game here be the difference? We have not seen hardly any 3-0 sweeps from Koyo.
10.
And he's definitely a player who has a very high top level. All comes down to consistency.
Brossier hanging around.
10.
Couple big swings to take care of that point. Still a bunch of game points here for Kanemitsu Koyo. Nails that one. It's 10-7.
Timeout.
Princeton takes the timeout with Brossier gaining momentum. Matthias Habasson trying to nip that in the bud.
Okay.
Making a strong comeback. Still down
normal
only
direction,
by
normal tempo.
3.
Okay. When he's putting short, you put short, but
Hey, I'll
he's
see you
forehand,
tonight, by the
so
way.
he
You guys
must
having fun
move,
so far?
and then next you can play. Okay.
Yeah. I love that on a Friday night. We're in this area and we're watching a professional table tennis match. We're watching Major League Table Tennis. This is not something I ever thought would be possible.
Just
I gotta say, I
you
love
wait
the
for this
team
long
of people
service, this you
that
play a
have gone
little
out of
bit
the way to put this together.
but with normal tennis.
But I gotta shout out the ball people. The people that pick up the balls, the ball boys and girls.
Koyo getting some different advices there from Coach Matthias Habasson and Jishan Liang. Koyo's actually fluent in Mandarin as well.
7. Revolution.
His mother, I believe, is Chinese, so spent a lot of time in the Liaoning province.
Game 1 for Koyo Kanemitsu, 11-7. I don't know that many people saw this coming, Matt. I mean, 9-1 through the first 10 games. Certainly was reasonable to feel like Princeton had an advantage, but not like this.
I mean, I think it just shows how much the Princeton team want this. I think there's a hunger that exists on the Princeton bench that it's just not, I mean, if you look, the Florida bench right now is very subdued. I mean, yes, they're not in a great position in the match, but I feel like this has been an ongoing thing. And it's not just momentum of results, it's momentum of the team unity and the preparation and the energy on the bench. Again, these teams have just been moving in opposite directions. And, you know, I think Brossier has been a player that's kind of shouldered a lot of that responsibility for the team.
I mean, he's not getting energy from his bench right now. He's got to try to create it himself.
Yeah, I mean, I asked him about that in Winter Haven. You know, I said when a player like Gorak comes out and that doesn't go too well, and, you know, maybe another couple of matches don't go too well, how do you handle that? I said, well, I can't control what happens with my teammates. The only thing that I can focus on is getting my points on the board and trying to do my bit. So he's kind of, it almost gives the impression that he's like isolated the rest of the team so it doesn't affect him.
2-1.
Koyo getting a little bit trigger happy with the forehand in a couple of these first points of the second game.
The loudest outburst from Brossier after a point all match. Oh, what a point. High toss serve. Koyo took some rips and Brossier handled every one of them. Remember that point. Brossier can use it to create some momentum for his team. Like that.
2-4.
I wish some members of the Crocs bench came to their feet after that last point. They're clapping politely over on the Crocs bench, but
it's a Wimbledon bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially here, where you're in Princeton's home court. There are, you know, probably 80 people, maybe even more, behind the Princeton team.
That's a nice shot down the line.
5-3.
Brossier, a month ago in Winter Haven, might have had his best weekend of the entire season, Matt. I mean, both his singles record and his Golden Game performance were impeccable. He was 6-3 in singles, and in 20 Golden Game points that he played across the 3 matches, he went 13-7. The highest winning percentage that anybody has in a Golden Game for the entire year, 62%. So 13-7, 65%.
Yep.
That's a really good weekend.
Yeah, he had a great weekend.
First class.
Explosive forehands from Koyo. Kind of willing himself to stay focused. I think it's been the standout issue for him throughout season 1 is
no one's given him a harder time about it than you have. Oh, how about that little
7-5
fluttering shot down the line?
That was pretty impressive serve receive from Brossier. Kicked back in.
By the way, I'm not, my goal isn't to give you a hard time about the hard time you're giving Koyo. You're absolutely right. And I appreciate that you keep mentioning it because you know, it's, you want to see his best. He's back within 1 here in game 2.
6.
I mean, look, we've said it how many times tonight? This is a really huge situation here for Florida.
Yep.
They need to deliver. I mean, we've said that so many times, and for the most part, it hasn't worked out yet for the Crocs. Will this moment be any different? 7-all.
7-7.
Koyo leads.
8-7. Timeout, Crocs.
Timeout, Florida. Let's see what the vibe is on the Crocs sideline right now.
Okay, so just calm. Right, you're like rushing it a little bit. Just calm down. You don't need to go all the power every time. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. You can get it. Come on. You can get this point.
Let's go.
That was one of the least chatty timeouts of the entire MLTT season.
For me, the energy's just lacking. I mean,
8-7, Revolution.
I guess Crocs in stagnant water to some point.
Big point though for Brossier. Again, subdued reaction from the Florida bench. And look, it's hard to feel really positive cheer when you're struggling on the table. What a point from Benjamin Brossier. And that gets Korak and Ekholm to their feet. And look, if you are struggling on the table, the least you can do is bring the energy to try to help your teammates.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I credit Emily Tan so much. Doesn't matter whether she wins a doubles game, loses it. You know, they could get swept 3-0 in doubles, and she's still given everything. And that's for Chicago. That's for a team that doesn't even have a chance of making the playoffs now.
Game points for Brossier at 10-8. Kanamitsu has the serves.
9-10.
I like it how he gingerly looked up to make sure that ball wasn't going to hit the table, even though it was so far away.
There was a split second. I wondered, could that spin its way back to the edge?
You can see a little tremor in his hand there. What a serve. A bit of kick on that hook serve. Brossier will have the serve for the golden point.
The fourth golden point of this team match. The first three have all been won by Princeton. Jishan took one in singles. Jishan and Angela won 2 in doubles. Brossier serving to Kanamitsu. 10-all. What a return! Brossier bidding to try to keep the point alive, and there was nothing he could do. Koyo Kanamitsu comes from behind to take game 2, 11-10.
What a redirect from Koyo, and we've seen Brossier take a dive on numerous occasions. I mean, it goes to show how much pressure Brossier shoulders and how important every point is to him.
Cares about the Florida Crocs and is fighting his hardest to keep them in this match. But Koyo Kanamitsu wants to put this away and take this third game.
The job is not yet done for Koyo Kanamitsu or the Princeton Revolution. With a 10-1 lead, there are 10 points still up for grabs. It's hard to fathom Florida possibly winning the next 10 points considering they've lost 10 of 11, but hey, crazier things have happened in the world. But obviously it is all going Princeton's way right now.
12 points in the lead on the board.
And tomorrow Princeton plays Carolina.
Third game.
And if you're Princeton, you're not necessarily thinking about catching Carolina in the standings. That's not impossible, but almost impossible. But just a strong performance against the Gold Rush, I mean, could make it that Florida has nothing to play for. I mean, there's a world in which Princeton clinches this thing before Sunday if we continue on this pace.
I mean, with this momentum and this trend right now in this match, if Revolution close this out and close out the Golden Game, you have to think if they play strong against Chicago and potentially win against Carolinas,
2-1.
they could still finish at the top of the table.
Carolina entered the night needing 17 points to clinch first place. They got 9 of them. So Carolina needs to win 8 points in their next 2 team matches to finish number 1.
Hard to see that not happening.
Enzo will have 12 points up for grabs himself. Be surprising if he does. 8 out of 12 would be a low score for him. Based upon what he's done this year, winning close to 80% of these singles and doubles. So, you know, you never know. No Kai Jung for Carolina today. We'll see him the next couple days.
Well, that was one of the slower aces I've ever seen.
4.
Not seen that many aces this year. Brossier wants a new ball. Right on cue.
3, 4.
Might be the first time all year we've had aces on back-to-back points.
Koyo just mistiming that forehand.
4.
I'm assuming Florida doesn't have a crazy comeback in them tonight. Wong Duran should be a competitive match, but Jinshin's a slight favorite, if not solid favorite. I don't know. We'll see. Duran capable of fireworks. But it's going to be really interesting to see what kind of Florida team we get tomorrow. You know,
Yeah.
Florida has Chicago tomorrow afternoon. What kind of spirit, what kind of fight do they have?
Brossier is bringing everything. I mean, look at that.
Six, 5.
Keeping himself as focused as possible. I mean, he's winning points out there to almost silence.
5, 7.
Now leads 7-5.
Even if Florida wins the rest of the games before the Golden, it'll be a 5-0 lead start of the Golden game for Princeton. Brossier
5, 8.
trying to double the Crocs point total. For the season, Matt, teams with a 5-0 lead heading into the Golden game are 31-2 in the Golden game. Brossier catches the edge. And a strong third game for Benjamin. Saw one crazy comeback in the Golden game earlier tonight. Who knows?
Great retrieve
9,
from Brossier.
6.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about a comeback is it has to start somewhere, right?
Sure does.
There's still a chance for the Crocs if they can win this game, and then if
6,
Duran can have
10.
a really exceptional performance,
Revolution.
they can still go in with a chance of winning the match.
Koyo Kanemitsu
10.
fights off that game point with a little pizzazz. Brossier still trying to close this out.
That was
just to get a paddle on that ball was insane.
10, 8.
Ridiculous forehand from Kanemitsu. The angle and the pace.
Brossier almost ended up on the floor again.
That's why the commish calls him floor burn.
10, 8.
The
Crocs.
serve goes back to Benjamin. And the Frenchman needs just one of these next couple points to earn a point for his team. That'll do it.
It's the first one.
11, 8.
So that's got to feel pretty good. A cathartic single point for Benjamin Brossier. Koyo unable to complete the sweep. However, 2 more points for Princeton, and it's 10-2 as we head to the final singles match of the evening. 11-8 for Brassier in game 3, but Koyo Kanamitsu won that golden point in game 2. He won that final 3-point sequence. The golden points have gone Princeton's way. I mean, think of it like this, Matt. It's 10-2 right now. Princeton's 4-0 in golden points. If they were 2-2 on golden points, it'd be 8-4. Obviously, if Florida had won all those golden points, we'd be tied.
Yep.
If. Let's chat with Koyo Kanamitsu. Koyo, congrats on a really strong performance. I'm sure you would have loved to get that last game, but what were you most pleased about with what you were able to do and with what your team is doing tonight? I know you practiced since Tuesday, but this has been a phenomenal night for Princeton so far.
Yeah. We come on Wednesday, then prepare very well. And every day, twice in practice and prepare for Florida. Yeah, and everyone play very well.
How do you feel about training that much? Do you come into this match feeling strong after that much practice, or maybe a little bit more tired, or?
Yeah, actually, I feel a little pain in my back from practice, but also Andrew, they prepare massage for the team, so yeah, it was not so bad.
What was the key in that match against Benjamin? Clearly, you were able to move him around and kind of have him sprawling for some of your shots around the court.
At first, I tried to keep every ball short and then try to open first ball. In the rally, just stay for many rallies. Yeah.
Well, looks like you're working hard out there. We'll let you go cool off and get ready for the golden game. Congratulations, Koyo. We'll see you in a bit.
Yeah.
Thank you. He looks worn out. All right, let him go get a towel.
First game, Crocs.
All right. Mark Duran versus Jinshin Wang.
0-0.
These two played one time in a match earlier this year. Every game went to the golden point.
Yeah, I remember that. It's fairly early on, I think.
It was the first weekend of the season. It was the first.
Yes, it was.
The first day of MLTT competition 6 months ago. Exactly.
2-1.
That first weekend of the season, Mark Duran only went 1-5 in singles. Jinshin won 2 of the 3 golden points. Jinshin Wang that weekend went just 2-7 in singles. Those were his only wins. But here we are at the end of the season. Jinshin, after starting 2-7, has fought his singles record back to 500. He's 21-21. Mark Duran had a tough Winter Haven.
Yeah.
1-8 last month. He's 17-31 overall for the year.
Yeah, I think he really wasn't able to get himself pumped up at all, and you know, I think it's become an issue with the team as a whole. Jinshin, I mean, even just since I arrived here, and you know, I was here for most of the day today. Just buckets and buckets of multi-ball. The amount of sweat and grind that he was putting into preparing for this match. You know, I spoke to Andre, and Andre said they have 2 sessions a day of practice at Princeton Pong, and then when the players are all done, they have to wait another half an hour because Jinshin's not done. So he's really stepped up in terms of the preparation for this weekend. Mark Duran, I mean, he's had some phenomenal matches this season. I mean, particularly if we look back at the cross division, he had some great matches. Played some unreal shots. Two-handed backhands, chops in the middle of a rally.
Oh, Marc Duran with some ridiculous returns to keep that point alive, but Jin Wong changing the angle and forcing Duran sprawling to win the point. Remarkable stuff from both players there. And just a cool, soft touch from Wong to finish the point.
5-8.
I feel like Duran's got pretty good energy so far. It's just he's been outplayed.
Yeah, I think he certainly had some tough matches, but we kind of saw him step up more in the Golden Game. His energy levels in the Golden Games were much higher, even in Winter Haven.
Well, to that point, his record in singles, as I said, 17-31. It's not great. He has 1 more points than he's lost in Golden Games this year.
6-10.
And Chinwan, for that matter, also has 1 more points than he's lost in Golden Games. Oh, he missed it. Jin Wong takes game 1. That clinches the match victory. But there are still 8 gigantic points up for grabs. Princeton began the night with a 3-point lead after taking 11 of the first 13 points this evening. That lead has widened considerably. Look at the up to the second standings in the East Division. Chicago did upset Carolina earlier tonight. Started the Golden Game with a 3-point deficit, came back to win it, so they got 12 points to Carolina's 9. Right now, Princeton's got 11 of the first 13 points this evening. The lead is 12 in that race for second place. Top 2 in the division advance to championship weekend. This is the final weekend of the regular season for East Division competition. The West will wrap up their regular season schedule 3 weeks from now in Wichita, Kansas. What are you seeing here, Matt? Because from my perspective, Marc Duran's taking some good swings, hitting some good shots. Jin Wong just has all the answers.
I think he's just in really good shape. I think he's
oh my.
I mean, you talked about him starting off, starting off a little bit slower in the first weekend. We've had conversations with him. We've had conversations with Matthias Harbison about him taking a team that he saw potential in, maybe not in the first week or in the second week, but in the season overall. And Jinshin, he knew that if Jinshin put the hours into practice, then he could deliver for the team, and he has.
Oh, Jinshin Wong is on fire right now. Every possible angle. Mind-blowing stuff.
Some big reactions. The Revolution's mascot. I don't know whether these are official mascots or just people showing up in costume, but
6-1.
1-6.
Marc Duran's positive energy, vibes that were oozing in the first game, they have been significantly diminished, although that's a good forehand winner over the table. Long
7-2.
road ahead, though, for Duran as he continues to try to hop around. Coach Frank Arias looking on.
Shen just looking pretty unassailable out there. This is kind of the level of Chen Shen that won the 2015 US Open.
Yes, indeed.
So you're talking about a revival of form 8 years in the making.
Chen Shen turned 32 years old in November. He's gradually gotten better throughout the season. Of course, it's been a wild season for Jinshin Wang in a lot of ways. He became a father for the first time. He lost his mother, missed the January weekend, being with his mother in her final days, and now he's trying to help the Princeton Revolution close in on the playoffs and really find form over Marc Duran, 2-0.
And it's now 1-2. It's the first person at 21 points. And we're going to rotate players every 4 points so you can see the entire team play in one single game. And the winner of that game will win 6 full points. That is a huge swing. It could be a big lead for the Revolution on the board, or it could be a big help for the Crocs to try and bring the damage done today by the Revolution. You're ready for game 3 right now?
All smiles for the Princeton owners. Giving cheers to the guy they call
Third
the
game,
professor.
Crocs to serve. 0-0.
Jinshin Wang has his team in front 12-2.
1-0.
Now, Princeton's going to get the W in the win column. There's still 7 points up for grabs, and it's no
0-2.
exaggeration, Matt. At this point, Florida's season might be riding on this golden game here. I mean, let's say Jinshin Wang completes the sweep, and it's 13-2. It's obviously a 12-point swing. Whether we finish 13-8 or 19-2. And there's just not a whole lot of time for Florida to make up that gap. If they lose 19-2, they're down 20 points.
Yeah.
Going into the final 2 days of the season. And they got Carolina, who's not going to let up against them.
Yeah, and I feel like anything that the Crocs can do against the Chicago wind, the Revolution can probably do it as well. So
that's right.
Are they going to have a significantly different result against the wind?
This was their chance to hand Princeton losses.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to do it. Now, Duran's off to a fantastic start here in game 3. See if Wang can regain his focus.
Let.
Oh.
0-6.
Even this single game would give the Crocs some positive energy. Neither player going to the towel at 6-0.
1-6.
Frenchman stringing together a few points in a row here.
Interesting to see what, if anything, Frank Arias does in terms of the Golden Game order to try to give his team a spark. If Marc Duran can finish off this game, I mean, I think you got to put Duran and Brossier in the first 2 spots just to try to use the little success they had as building blocks early in the Golden Game. You're going to be down 5-0. You got to get off to a good start. Yeah. Pretty good defense from Jin-Shin Wang, but Duran calmly puts it away. 8-4. Final West Division event, April 5th through the 7th in Wichita, Kansas. And then 3 weeks after that, we will be in Chicago to decide the first ever Major League Table Tennis champion. The MLTT Cup will be awarded. $100,000 of prize money on the line.
4-10.
Game points for Duran. He's able to salvage game 3.
Game,
so it's 12-3 going into the Golden Game, meaning that the final score tonight will either be 18-3 or 12-9. And it's not an exaggeration to say that Florida's season is somewhat on life support, and this Golden Game, in which they'll start down 5-0, is absolutely massive.
If the Revolution can win the Golden Game, they're going to be way far ahead. But if the Crocs can win that game, they're going to creep right back in and keep it close the entire weekend.
Billed as one of the biggest matches of the entire season, Florida and Princeton began the evening separated by just 3 points in the race for the 2 spot in the East Division. Daniel Gorak won 8 of the first 9 points in game number 1 as singles, but Jishan scored 10 in a row, won the golden point in game 3, and that set the tone for Princeton. Preshepa swept Onaolapo, Liang, and Guan. 3 narrow victories over Gorak and Ekholm. And then Koyo Kanemitsu and Jin-Shin Wang both able to take 2 out of 3. Credit to Brossier and Duran for salvaging a single point late in those matches, but it has been Princeton's night so far. 6 points still up for grabs. Let's figure out the order for the Golden Game. Frank Arias, the coach of the Crocs, Matthias Habasson, the coach of the Revolution, and the commissioner of Major League Table Tennis, Flint Lane.
For Flint Lane! Okay. The Princeton Revolution are leading 12-3. There are 6 points at stake, which will be vital in the season-long standings for the playoffs. Since you're leading, you will have a 5-point lead going into the Golden Game. Coach, since you're behind, you will have the first pick.
Marc Duran.
Marc Duran is your number 1.
Wang Jin-Shin.
Jin-Shin Wang?
Yes.
Jin-Shin Wang is your number 1, and your 2?
Jishan Liang.
Jishan Liang is your 2.
Daniel Gorak.
Daniel Gorak, your 2. Your 3?
Benjamin Brossier.
Benjamin Brossier is your 3.
Koyo.
Koyo Kanemitsu is your 3. Your 4?
Yevgen.
Yevgen Preshepa is your 4.
Matilda Ekholm.
Matilda is your 4, making Ojo your 5, making Angela your 5. Good luck, coaches.
Good luck.
So it's a 5-0 lead for Princeton. The interesting quirk, Matt, is if this were championship weekend, the rules are going to shift. If it was championship weekend, it would be a 9-0 lead, but Florida could win the Golden Game and win the whole match. That's how championship weekend will be decided. MLTT staff deciding to make the Golden Game matter no matter what. Obviously, it matters tonight, not determining who's going to go home a winner in terms of earning more points. Princeton will build on its lead coming into the night. But it'll either be a 15-point edition or a 3-point edition. 12-point swing up for grabs right now. Can Florida become the third team in the league this year to erase a 5-0 deficit in a Golden Game and come back and win? Let's find out. Good start for Mark Duran.
Different demeanor in the Golden Game. Mark Duran just turning it up.
Oh my goodness, Duran had it on his paddle. That's a stunning miss. He makes that shot, what, 9 out of 10 times? 49 out of 50 times? And he missed the next one as well, 7-1 Princeton. Break for Florida. It's been Jishan's night so far. Let's see if he can keep it rolling. Gorak takes the opening point.
Good change from Gorak to put the ball down the middle. What a backhand from Daniel Gorak.
Do they serve out of order here? Isn't the team that trailing supposed to serve first?
I don't know. Gorak delivers in the Golden Game.
That's a golden sweep for Daniel Gorak. All of a sudden, it's a 2-point game. Rossier and Koyo back to the table.
What a counter from Koyo Kanemitsu.
8-5. Let.
Oh, Koyo Kanemitsu, large and in charge. Rossier counters. One more point for these two, and then the intriguing matchup, Matilda Ekholm versus Yevgen Prishepa.
What a pickup. Koyo Kanemitsu on the aggressive. You can see on the mic in the background, Ryan Willard, good friend of mine, obviously, Adam Bobrow at the Singapore Smash. Great to have Ryan with us. He actually went to school here in Princeton, so a bit of a homecoming for him.
Prishepa versus Ekholm.
11.
Simple but strong from Yevgen Prishepa.
This is a tough style matchup for Ekholm.
6-12.
Prishepa handles business on his serve. Ekholm cannot do the same. This might get away from the Crocs here quick. Three in a row for Przyczepa.
6-13.
He swept his singles match. He swept the first 3 points here in the Golden Game as well.
But Ekholm stops the sweep. Big forehand. Ojo against Angela Guan. This is going to be very interesting.
You feel like Ojo needs minimum 3 here to give Florida a chance. Really, they need a sweep. Guan takes the first point.
See, Ojo just kind of froze up. I mean, he's a player that has so much power against backspin, but goes on the defensive against the defender.
Much more aggressive return of serve there.
Yeah, it has to be. Heavy backspin serve from Ojo.
Timeout. Revolution.
Matthias Havison is going to use his timeout here.
Try to catch him a little bit in the angles. Okay.
Just straight forward.
Doesn't matter. No pressure. We made already 1 point. Everything fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just you just patiently receive the service. Yeah. Just if you have the chance, just try to put a little angle in it. Okay. If it's just weird or something, you just put on the table. Okay. Come outside near the front entrance.
Did she say you wasted a timeout?
Either I don't want to waste the timeout or something like that.
A little surprised he used it there. Ojo brings Florida back within 4. He takes 3 of the 4 points over Angela. Back to the top of the order. Final 4 points of the night for Gorak, for Duran and Wong. If we do get to 20 all, it'll be Ojo versus Guan. Otherwise, their evening is over.
So Duran is actually asking about the serve.
Jinshin Wong has the goods. Wow. He has just been locked in from the start, Matt. My goodness. Are you kidding me?
Yes, we made a whole compilation of these shots from Winter Haven.
Get the editor machine going again because you got plenty to work with. A golden sweep for Jinshin Wong.
Duran just misfiring.
Look of resignation on the face of the Crocs.
Yeah, I mean, some of those shots are set up for him, but like that he can't miss that shot.
Feels like the Crocs' last stand. Gorak got a golden sweep last time, and he starts off with an impressive backhand flick.
11.
Gorak's taken 5 straight points from Jishan here in the Golden Game. And his teammates have not helped him out enough. Another one for Gorak, who brought his game face to the Golden Game.
11. 18.
Rossier versus Koyo next. Leon on the board in the Golden. Princeton within 2 of finishing this thing up. Net ball.
Long reverse, but net ball and just a sigh from Gorak. Koyo Kanemitsu subduing a smile there, knowing that he has the chance to finish this big match for the Princeton Revolution.
Great stuff from Rossier. with his back up against the wall to keep the Crocs alive for at least one more point. Fights off 2.
14-20.
Got to settle himself a little bit.
Brossier could win these next 2 points. It would be Prishepa versus Ekholm. Uphill battle for the Crocs, but you never know. Can he get there? Oh, he's taking the first 3. Brossier, like he's done all season long, showed some real fight when his team's up against it. Still match point for the Revolution. And that'll do it! The Revolution here in New Jersey for all to see. Princeton destroys the Florida Crocs 18-3.
Boyos just getting flattened out there. Princeton owner Andre Liu in true fashion, center barrier flying vertically. A huge win for the Princeton Revolution. They felt confident going into it. They knew their preparation was there. I don't know if they expected a result this one-sided.
They began the weekend with a 3-point lead over the Crocs. That lead has now ballooned all the way to 18 points with just 2 matches left in the regular season. Tomorrow night in prime time, Princeton will take on the first place Carolina Gold Rush. They got the better of the Gold Rush a month ago in Winter Haven. Who knows? It could be a potential championship game preview. But the Florida Crocs need to regroup in a major way. What a performance from Koyo Kanemitsu, Jinshin Wang, Yevgen Prishepa. Jishan Liang did not have a great Golden game, but over the course of the evening, he won 5 points for his team in singles and doubles. And just a really impressive all-around performance from the Princeton Revolution in front of these fans. We've talked about it, Matt. At times this year, teams have struggled playing at home, but Princeton, not one of them.
Not tonight, Evan, not tonight. A tough order, I mean, especially for Angela as well, to be in that pressure seat up against Ojo.
Jinshin Wang joins us. Congratulations, Jinshin. How does it feel to get the victory here tonight in a really big match?
So good, feels so good. It's our last chance fighting for the playoff.
I mean, I came in here today and I saw you doing just box after box after box of multi-ball. You are certainly putting in the hard work to prepare for this. I mean, you have to feel pretty great about how you played in your match against Duran. I think everything that I saw you doing in multi-ball was then showing on the table in that match as well. How has the preparation been for you this week, and how happy are you with where your level is right now?
Actually, I'm doing a lot of multi-ball because I know it's a more rally this match with against Duran. So maybe he like fishing or hit back something.
Yeah.
No surprise for me. Just be ready. Always be ready.
What's the mindset, Jinshin, going into the rest of this weekend? Obviously, you've built a cushion, but the job is not yet done.
Yeah, we have 2 more matches. Yeah, we need to win 2 more matches, guarantee for the playoff.
And one more question from me. We kind of talked about your progression through MLTT. Obviously, you're coaching a lot, and this you've been training more for, and your level has gone up throughout the season. How do you feel about your playing level now compared to, you know, even 2015, like when you won the US Open? Because if I look at that match, the thing that I said during that match is it just kind of reminded me of that level that you were playing at then.
I think mentally improved compared with 2015. Actually, after register MLTT, I'm working a lot for myself, not only coaching.
Yeah.
So first lose a lot of weight, and the morning, if no lesson, I just practice with friend or teammate, and I need to keep my level. We need to win. Yeah.
Jichin, congratulations on a great night. Get some rest. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
You can hand that headset off to your coach, Matthias Habasson. Gotta be pleased with the fan support here in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, on the campus of Rider University. What a night for the Revolution. Matthias joins us now. Congratulations. What a performance from your team. I imagine that you thought you could win every point, but 18-3 over a team like Florida, that's just absolutely phenomenal. What stood out most to you about the mindset with which your team came into the night?
I guess it was the spectators today. They cheered for us like crazy, and if you analyze a little bit afterwards, I think there was 5 or 6 golden points, and I think all of them went to us, if I'm not wrong. So, everything went for us today. This is normally not possible, but today, in these crucial moments, it was really totally for us. Yes, okay, but additional to that, I must say we were really well prepared this time because we came earlier this time. It was possible because it's our home match almost, and we could practice 2.5 days in advance. And since 2 days, I can let the players just be like they are because they're already in a flow, and it's a very, very good and nice situation for me.
When you brought the team together in the middle of the week, what was your message to the team about getting ready for this weekend?
I didn't have a special message. My job was just because they already came in good shape, and my job was just to keep them in motion, to keep them moving, to keep them focusing on their strengths, and that's what they did in the practice. And actually it went really well, because it was not that Crocs played bad. No, it was really they were really playing well, and but my team just managed to enforce a little bit the best shots and stuff like that, and so it went for us.
And given the preparation that you guys put in, I was here most of the morning and into the early afternoon, and saw a glimpse of what's probably been happening for the last few days. Is your intention after this result to let the team players rest a little bit tomorrow, or do you think you'll have them back in here practicing? What mentality do you have coming in? Do you think push them a little bit more, or rest is more important right now?
Definitely we will practice. There is some individualism, of course, in this sport especially, and there are some players who need a little bit more, some a little bit rest, especially in a situation like this where you have a relatively long weekend of play. But definitely we will do something in the morning and keep this motion, because many times it's like this. You already noticed that we practice a lot. Today the day was very long and very intense, and I'm sure if we don't move tomorrow morning, we shut down a little bit.
Concrete.
So, exactly, So we just maintain the way we are doing the last months, and yes.
Before we let you go, I want to ask you about the doubles. Clearly that's been an area of struggle for the Revolution this season. You had never beaten Florida in a doubles match. We've seen Yevgen play with Angela. We've seen Jishan play with Angela. What went into the decision to use Jishan today, and how proud are you of the job they were able to do?
Honestly, that was just feeling. It's always 50-50 between all of them, and then I watch how the dynamic is in the practice, how they are doing on specific shots, and when one is playing the shots better, which are important in the doubles, then I choose this combination.
Congratulations, Matthias, on a fantastic night for the Revolution. You came in with a 3-point lead. You've now got an 18-point lead, but obviously the job is not yet done, so we'll let you get some rest, and we'll see you for the big showdown with Carolina tomorrow night.
You're right. It's not over yet, so we just try to keep everything like it was.
Thanks for the
perspective.
Thank you so much. As always. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. See you.
Quick look at the standings before we sign off. It's hard to believe this Princeton team started 1-6. They were in Chicago. You and I were together for the first time. They were 1-6 after that Friday night. Here we are 4 months later. They have won 11 of their last 13 matches, 11 of their last 13 Golden Games, and they are in position to be back in Chicago in a month and a half for a championship.
Yeah, I mean, look at the standings. I mean, you see the doubles records of Revolution and Crocs are almost reversed. The Golden Game's pretty similar. The big change that's come from the Princeton Revolution is the performance in singles. Being able to bring their best lineup, the levels of the players going up, the camaraderie, the energy that's coming from the bench, the preparation, everything is going in the Princeton Revolution's favor so far. What can you say? I mean, what a performance tonight.
Yeah, the Florida Crocs are still just kind of sitting aimlessly on their bench, looking around. It'll be interesting to see what kind of fighting spirit they've got tomorrow. See if they can battle their way back. They've got an 18-point deficit to overcome and only 2 matches with which to do it. Princeton very much in control of their destiny now. The Revolution behind Przyczepa, Koyo, Jinshin, Angela, and Jishan win it 21-15 in the Golden, 18-3 to close out a fun Friday night in Jersey. Good night, everybody.